Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're excited to see you today.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Amanda Heller. I'm the Director of Enrollment Services here at ACHS. Just a couple little items as we get started. Our marketing manager, Gina, is going to be working behind the scenes today. So if there's any technical issues during the presentation, feel free to reach out to her in our chat box. You'll also notice as we go through that you are muted. That's because today we are recording our webinar for everyone that didn't have the chance to attend. But we definitely welcome all of your classes. We welcome all of your questions in the Q&A box or the webinar chat box. I would like to encourage everyone, though, to down in the chat box, you can change your preference to send responses to everyone. And that way everyone sees your questions, which is, I think, a great way for us to have that open dialogue as we go through. But yeah, we'd like to start and give everyone a few minutes to get checked in and logged in. But if you could please share with us where you're attending and located, that'd be awesome. It's always really fun for us to see where all of our students are watching from.
We are here in Portland, Oregon. Last week, we had our spring preview, but we are back to regular scheduled programming of cold drizzle in Portland, but there's some little spring shoots coming up.
Yeah, it is really Oregon and Washington, like with the spring, when it does, the sun starts coming out, the temperature gets around 60 on some days. We get pretty excited because then we're out on walks. We see those little like flowers or buds on the tree start to pop, and we know it's about to like be a rainbow of colors here the next few weeks.
We've got Poland and Missouri, South Carolina, Montana, California, Louisiana.
We have
North
students
Carolina.
all over today. It's so cool.
Welcome, everyone. So I think we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, definitely.
We're excited to talk to you about aromatherapy today.
So yeah, again, my name is Amanda Heller. I'm the Director of Enrollment Services, and today we're joined by our Dean of Aromatherapy, Professor Lattin. Professor Lattin is going to be talking to us today about aromatherapy's significance and core principles, and all of the compelling reasons around why we should study aromatherapy or add it to part of our program electives. And we're also going to discuss a variety and diverse professional opportunities that exist out there in the field. Because we know a lot of students have questions like they'll know, I know where my heart and passion is, but how do I put it into action? So we're going to help provide some information and how our programs can help you shape that pathway. And again, don't be shy. Please add questions to our chat box as we go along. And if there's any questions for some reason we don't quite get to, we definitely will get back to you after the webinar. But yes, next slide, please. So here's a general overview of our webinar today. What is aromatherapy? Why should everyone study aromatherapy? One of the best modalities out there. What are professional opportunities? And what does it look like to take aromatherapy programs here at the college? And what programs specifically are those? And if you're ready to apply, what the admissions process looks like. So I'll hand it over to Professor Lattin.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to meet all of you. So what is aromatherapy? You probably have heard this word, although when I started doing this 20 years ago, even that word wasn't popular yet. So aromatherapy is the intentional, safe use of plant essential oils to promote health and wellness. And you'll notice that is a really broad definition because aromatherapy is quite a broad modality. Many people think that aromatherapy is just smelling something, and in a way that's true. An aspect of aromatherapy is smelling essential oils. So one thing that we really define in aromatherapy is that we're using plant essential oils for the aromas that we use in aromatherapy, but we use them in many different ways. We don't just inhale them, although that is a really important aspect of aromatherapy, is inhaling essential oils. So when we do that, that's the fastest way for essential oils to move into your bloodstream. It also interacts with your olfactory system, so your sense of smell, which then sends messages to different brain centers. And it's a really beautiful, not safe, non-invasive way to receive therapeutic actions from the essential oils. However, aromatherapy also encompasses using essential oils in topical applications. So these are applications that would go on the skin. And we marry essential oils with different types of carrier oils or vegetable oils, such as avocado oil or olive oil or sweet almond oil. So we re-dilute the essential oils and then we apply them to the skin, and they absorb into the body that way as well. But we may also be trying to achieve a specific effect where we applied the essential oils. So an analgesic action or an antifungal action, something like that. And that's where you're going to see aromatherapy used in clinical aromatherapy. And occasionally essential oils are incorporated, and we're going to talk about this, are incorporated into preparations that are designed to be taken orally. Now that doesn't fall under aromatherapy in general in the United States, but you're going to find that that is kind of the overlap of aromatherapy and herbalism or in nutraceutical development. So aromatherapy really is this broad scope of using plant essential oils in these various ways to promote health and wellness. It may be focused on a physical issue. It may be focused on mental or emotional health. It may even be incorporated into supporting spiritual health. And it can be used in different types of settings. So you may be in a holistic setting, such as the work that I do, where I have my consulting office paired with an acupuncturist, and the whole setting is about holistic and integrative health. Or you also will find it in clinical settings or in different types of hospital settings used for very specific purposes. It can be incorporated into different types of therapy work. Or it can be product-based, where there's a product that's developed for a specific use, and that's also an aspect of aromatherapy. So aromatherapists play a special role in integrative health. It can be used alone to support an individual, or it can oftentimes is part of integrated with other modalities to create a support plan for individuals. And just check my next slide here. So aromatherapy is utilized in integrative care. These are some of the areas here where aromatherapy is being researched and implemented as part of integrative care for special populations or with chronic conditions. So we see it used with PTSD, for anxiety and depression management, incorporated into pain management. This is really important here as we're finding other strategies rather than pharmaceutical strategies alone to manage pain. We're seeing it utilized for labor, delivery, and postpartum care, incorporated into wound care. This is important because there's resistant strains of bacteria that essential oils are able to support in wound care. We've seen it in pre and post-op care, for example, to manage nausea or to reduce the need for pain meds or to manage anxiety around an operation. We're also seeing it utilized in addiction recovery. This is just to name a few things. So your idea of aromatherapy might start small as something that you do at home for yourself, and that is aromatherapy, but it's also a professional modality that's integrated at all levels of integrative health right now. So I just want to take a moment though and see, does anyone have any questions for me about aromatherapy? Because oftentimes I'm not sure what questions people have, because I'm doing aromatherapy all the time and talking about it all the time. So I love hearing what questions people might have about aromatherapy as I'm going through this presentation. Please ask me, and I will definitely incorporate that into what we talk about today.
Yeah. And it's not a problem at all as you ask. I'll make sure Professor Latin knows, and so we can try to answer those as we go through too.
Wonderful to even hear if any of you have used aromatherapy before.
Yeah.
So My favorite question is, what is your favorite essential oil? But feel free. Any of the above. Would love to hear. Would love to
Yeah, I
hear.
would love for us to throw in your chat about your favorite oil for sure. We
Oh,
have a great
analgesic.
question from Chelsea.
Hmm.
Can you speak to the meaning of analgesic?
Analgesic. Analgesic is the therapeutic action term for pain relieving. So it's a broad term to use for pain relief. Frankincense is a beautiful and precious essential oil that peppermint and lime. Okay, lavender. Now we're talking. Now we're getting into some aromatherapy here. So we got to have this excitement. We got to start with the excitement about the essential oils, and that fuels our passion for studying and utilizing um, essential oils.
Yeah.
Ooh, cilantro essential oil. So CBD is not an essential oil. That is a larger molecule that's extracted from cannabis plants. So when you look at cannabis research, you'll see that there are some overlapping constituents in full spectrum cannabis extracts, like limonene, for example, where there's some overlap in constituents that are talked about. And in cannabis research, they usually refer to them as terpenes that are present, and they are in fact terpenes. But there's not necessarily specific research looking at combining them. It's more of, are those same constituents present in the cannabis plants, and what are their role? And we're in aromatherapy, we're like, absolutely, we like utilizing those constituents. So there is some overlap there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you already answer the first question about the analgesic?
I did.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was watching all the things. And then we had a question, which I think we might get to this one a little bit further after a couple slides, but is there specific licensure certifications that give credibility for employment or in the world of in aromatherapy?
Well, that is a great question. And I will definitely speak to that. I have a slide about that. So we'll put a pin on that one, and we'll come back to it for sure.
Awesome.
And topical, yes, you might find preparations that have CBD and essential oils in them to follow up on that questions. So okay, so this is what aromatherapy is. This is some of the places that you'll see aromatherapy utilized. It's very versatile. So how is aromatherapy different from herbal studies? This is a question we get a lot. And really, herbal studies and aromatherapy both fall under the umbrella of botanical medicine. So if you could think of it as two sides of the same coin, because they're both utilizing plants and plant extracts to support health and wellness. The difference is that aromatherapy focuses on a specific component of plants' active constituents. So we're focusing just on the constituents that are found in the essential oil of plants. We also will sometimes utilize CO2 extracts. Sometimes we utilize something that's called an absolute, which is needed for some flowers to be extracted through a solvent. But we're looking at a much narrower fraction, is what that's called, of a plant's active constituents, and it's much more concentrated than what you would find in a tincture or in an herbal infusion or in the whole plant. Much more concentrated of those specific constituents. So when I drink peppermint tea, for example, and I'm sure many of you have enjoyed peppermint tea, if you make the tea, and especially if you put a lid over the tea while it's brewing, or a little plate over your teacup. When you take that teacup off, and you have that burst of peppermint that comes up, right? You have just a tiny bit of the essential oil that came out of that peppermint and followed the steam up, and you smell it. And when you drink it, you have that little bit of that tingly feeling, right? Can someone pop in the chat? Does everyone know what I'm talking about? So that's that little bit of peppermint essential oil that was living in that peppermint tea. So You can interact with essential oils by using whole herbs, and they would also be present in small amounts in an herbal tincture. But with aromatherapy, it's much more concentrate amounts of those same constituents. And so, for example, with rose essential oil, 1 drop of rose essential oil is the amount of essential oil found in about 2,000 petals of rose, right? So, or you could distill 100 pounds of peppermint to make 1 pound of peppermint essential oil. So the essential oil fraction is much more concentrate in an essential oil than what you would find. So there are overlaps in the therapeutic effects that we would see from peppermint essential oil and the whole herb of peppermint, but the way that we would use them and how we would use them would be different. So there are some botanicals that we work with in aromatherapy that aren't used as much in herbalism. And there's some plants that are vital in herbalism that don't really have much essential oil, and they're not used in aromatherapy. So there's a little bit of difference in the focus on which plants. We focus on plants that are essential oil bearing, or sometimes they're called aromatic plants because they have aromas. So there is overlap between the two. When you're working with an essential oil, you're working with an herb. And when you're working with an herb, you're going to find a little bit of essential oil in those herbs. But the aromatherapy is a little bit more specialized, is how I would describe it. And how we use them and apply them are different. Mm-hmm. So they work together and they have overlap. Herbalism focuses on using whole plants and plant extracts that are in different mediums in aromatherapy. So they're going to make tinctures with alcohol or extracts with glycerin and vinegar. They might make infused oils, things like that. So does that, for my audience here, does that help to clarify the difference between aromatherapy and herbal studies?
I find it really helpful because I know when we're working with new students looking at programs, some of our students that want to start with something very career specific is understanding that herbalism classes are completely different pathway than aromatherapy, but we also have programs where you can study both. So it's really looking at where do you want to maybe specialize, or do you want to make sure you cover both subjects for your, to meet your professional goals. So it's really good.
You're going to use them. If you're an herbalist, you are going to use essential oils. And if you're in aromatherapy, there are herbs that we use in aromatherapy, especially for making infused oils, which we like to then add essential oils to. So calendula or St. John's wort infused oil. So they're not exclusive of one another, but definitely the focus is different. So if you learn about herbalism, you want to learn about aromatherapy because it's going to make a better herbalist.
We have an excellent question as we continue. Will we be learning how to make our own oils in the program or using known products? What are the best brand of essential oils?
Okay. Yeah. So that's great questions. We do not distill essential oils in the program. We learn about the distillation process. So you will learn how essential oils are made. And for each of the essential oils that you study, we talk about which part of the plant is used to obtain the essential oil. So you'll understand it's not just the whole ginger plant, but the essential oil is extracted from the ginger rhizome. And we talk about the extraction methods that are used for each botanical. Is it steam distillation? Is it water distillation? Is it cold pressing? And we talk about harvesting. So you really get a deeper understanding of how the essential oil is obtained for each species, but we don't make them. We learn about how to evaluate the quality of essential oils rather than focusing on brands to purchase. So you're going to be empowered to be able to learn how to do organoleptic testing for the essential oils. And we practice with essential oils that we source, that we know meet the standards. Our essential oils are organic, pesticide-free. And we practice looking at what are the constituents in this essential oil. We learn how to start to identify the aromas of those constituents. And you learn about quality assessment measures for essential oils. So that means you can evaluate essential oils to purchase. And you get to practice with ones that are known to meet the guidelines So it's part of training your nose is part of that process. So we go a step further with that. So you'll learn about what to look for when you're purchasing essential oils, things of that nature.
Mhm.
Did that answer that question?
I think so. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, I see a good question here. I'm a pharmacist and I'm both interested in learning both. I have a collection of essential oils and herbs already, but I'm just not sure what path I want to take yet. Well, Candace, as a pharmacist, so my background is in chemistry. I would say you would probably want to study both, to be quite honest, because essential oils have a lot of potential right now in pharmacy, and I think we're going to see more standardized products being developed that utilize them, and the same with herbs. So I think as a pharmacist in your role, I think you would love learning both, and we do have programs where you can look at both of them.
Mhm.
But there's nothing wrong with taking like one class in each and finding out if you just really get passionate about one modality and then following that. But I will tell you, so many of the people I have taught, they finish one and they go right back for another one because they want to learn the rest. So benefits of studying aromatherapy with other modalities. It really gives you a complete picture. That's what it does. So for herbal medicine, as we talked about, essential oils are found in herbs and herbal extracts, but just in smaller quantities. It's an important component of the therapeutic actions of herbs, are essential oils. So understanding how essential oils work enhances herbal protocols. And if you're doing product development, it is going to enhance that for you. And herbalism and aromatherapy can be integrated together. That's the work that I have done. I use both modalities together. And when you study both, then you really get a sense of when one might be better than another for a person, depending on what they're working with. You might say, I think aromatherapy would help you with this aspect of what you're trying to get support for, and herbalism might be better fit here. And maybe you don't specialize in both of them, but you should have a good working knowledge of both. That makes you a good resource in your community or whatever setting that you're working in. Sometimes it's just as important to know when you're not the best person to answer that question and you say, I'm going to send you over here because I think they're going to help you more. Being that type of resource is very, very valuable. So that is why they really support one another. Because if you're an herbalist, people are going to ask you about essential oils. I tell everyone, why should you study? Everyone should take at least one aromatherapy class because people use essential oils and they have questions about them.
Mhm.
It's in the chat here.
Just understanding, I'd say the safety aspect too, so you can feel comfortable and confident when you answer those questions.
Huge. There is so much misinformation available about essential oils, and I love it when it clicks and individuals really feel empowered to know how to use them safely.
Mhm.
But perhaps you're studying holistic nutrition. Why would we want to study aromatherapy? Well, our Dean of Integrative Health and Nutrition, Dr. Ludwig, always says, if it doesn't smell good, you're not going to eat it. And what makes food smell good are the essential oils that are in those foods. And some foods have tiny bits of them and we're not able to extract them, but those aroma molecules and taste molecules are still in there. Essential oils are found in culinary herbs and spices. So all the things many of you mentioned, cinnamon, clove, cilantro, peppermint, even the citrus peels, we use them in cooking. They've been utilized in food preservation for millennia. And they, in fact, have high amounts of essential oils, and that's why we value them for their flavor. But they also have therapeutic benefits, and some of those whole herbs also have nutritive value to them. So you're going to enhance that holistic nutrition perspective by understanding how those essential oils are being carried into the food through the culinary herbs and spices. But you may be someone who does holistic nutrition for behavior change protocols. So maybe somebody's trying to get out of bad habits with eating or cravings. And I've made many aromatherapy protocols to help support that. So we make aromatherapy inhalers to create motivation for exercise, or instead of snacking, we're going to do our aromatherapy for that emotional support, different things like that. So Aromatherapy that's what's so beautiful about it, is because it's so versatile, it can find its role into many types of situations.
And I think a really unique angle with the nutrition piece is students wanting to work in like with athletes, anyone involved in, weightlifting, gym, because you have like Amanda mentioned, incorporated into behavior change protocols. But there's a lot of research I've seen on essential oils being used in like athlete recovery. So it might be, you're using both modalities to help that person reach their peak fitness goals, for example. So
Absolutely. Or just for sore muscles.
yeah.
If you help people with sore muscles, you become their new best friend. Sometimes we think about all these complex pictures, and it just gets very, very simple. Can you help my lower back not hurt as much? Yes, we can.
Ooh, Amanda, Professor Lattin, we just got an amazing question. Can you speak on ACHS's stance on the internal use of essential oils, and if that's discussed in the program?
So we do touch on this. Typically, internal use of essential oils is not the best choice to get the therapeutic actions that you want from the essential oils. Sometimes, for very specific reasons and for short durations, essential oils are taken internally in small doses, and they need to be properly encapsulated and in a vegetable oil. And in aromatherapy, the guidance is that you need to be working with someone who's well trained to account for medications, contraindications, safety around dosage, all of these things. So we do talk about it, and there are some formulas within our curriculum that give examples of what that could look like. But it's not a broad aspect of aromatherapy, simply because that's not typically how the best choice for how to get the therapeutic actions that we're looking for. And essential oils are not, they're not nutrition supplements. So they're not something that needs to be taken every day. They are taken in that way, like I said, for specific reasons, for short duration. So that is discussed in our program, but it's not a main focus. And typically aromatherapists complete their a training program such as ours, and we're going to look at, it's approved by an Alliance of International Aromatherapists, National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy. Typically aromatherapists complete that full training and then would go on to take an additional training post-graduation if they want to focus in that. And in some places you may need to have a license to make those types of recommendations. So hope that answers your question.
There's just I think a lot, that's a common question we get, because it's a newer way of maybe using essential oils, maybe not necessarily newer, but there's actually just so much science and safety that goes into it than people realize. So that's definitely going to be discussed in the program.
It's very empowering. Our courses talk about methods of administration for essential oils, and I think that that's a really important discussion to be had. So okay, so we've talked about what aromatherapy is, how is it used. We've talked about why would I want to study aromatherapy with herbalism? Why might I want to study aromatherapy with holistic nutrition? And so now we're going to take a look at some examples of these. So if you're at ACHS and you're in a graduate program, these are my recommendations for 2 aromatherapy courses that you could take if you're studying herbalism or holistic nutrition. So this might be more pertinent for people who are already enrolled or who are looking at enrolling in a graduate program. So this is our Aroma 501, Introduction to Aromatherapy. This is a foundational course. You're going to learn so much in this class. With the essential oils that we study, we do cover those methods of administration. We look at the science behind aromatherapy. We look at essential oil extraction. We look at some of the industrial uses of essential oils and key safety topics. So you're really going to get a great foundational introduction to aromatherapy. So I kind of recommend that class to anyone in our programs because they're going to be able to use that. And then also Aroma 507, which is essential oil chemistry. We're going to learn about important terpenes and phenylpropanoid constituents found in essential oils, herbs, and culinary spices. And that goes back to that question I was being asked about CBD and cannabis. And so you're going to learn about all of those individual constituents, and not only just like for cannabis, but what's found in those culinary herbs and spices, or these are common essential oil constituents that you're going to find in herbs. So you get to explore isolated constituents, and you get to do labs with them and compare them to the essential oils they're found in. And you get to learn more about how essential oils are metabolized in the body and essential oil quality analysis. So those are two great classes that even if you're not completing an aromatherapy program, that I think you would really benefit from at the graduate level. And then at the undergraduate level, I really recommend the Aroma 101 Introduction to Aromatherapy course to anyone in our programs would benefit from that. It's very similar to what we cover in Aroma 501, but not at the graduate level. So you get to study many essential oils, the application methods. You get to learn a lot of formulas for different types of aromatherapy applications, the safety considerations, the history of aromatherapy. So really great class. We do have an undergraduate Aroma 305, which is the essential oil chemistry, is slightly different than the graduate one, but that could also be another great class that some students might be interested in. Yeah, so I can go back to that slide. Oh. It was Aroma 501 and 507 at the graduate level. Yeah. This is for people who are in an herbalism or nutrition program if you have an elective option. And then at the undergrad, I really recommend this. I can't highly recommend it enough. It's a really fun class. We have fantastic professors that teach it. You will use it. You will use it either in your personal work or you will use it in your professional work, or both. So now we're getting back to the professional opportunities and the credentials. So in the United States, there is no license to practice aromatherapy, just like there is no license to practice herbalism. Because aromatherapy, you cannot practice medicine, so you cannot diagnose, treat, or cure disease. We also in our programs talk about the language of what you can and can't do and what you can and can't say to clients. And that's really important because we don't want to get ourselves into trouble. We want to feel empowered and we want to be professional in the work that we do. So completing an approved aromatherapy training program does a few things for you. Our programs, we're going to look at it, are designed to qualify you to take the Aromatherapy Registration Council registered aromatherapist exam if you choose to. And that is a legal credential that you can put after your name saying that you're a registered aromatherapist. They also are approved for professional or clinical memberships with the Alliance of International Aromatherapists and the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy. And gaining a professional membership has many benefits for you. It is going to support you in doing your work as an aromatherapist or herbalist or holistic nutritionist. You're going to get to attend monthly webinars where you get to continue to learn. They have support with gaining professional liability insurance. There is both of them maintain databases. You get to have professional listings. And, just really being in that community of professions. Plus, when you're doing your work, you get to say, I've completed this program. I'm a registered aromatherapist. I'm a professional member of these associations. And that really sets you up for success because you get the support of those credentials and those memberships. It also gives you guidelines, professional guidelines that you're going to adhere to in your work.
And that continues to build that credibility piece that was being asked earlier.
Yes, absolutely. We talked about this already, but aromatherapy is utilized by healthcare professionals in nursing, research, massage therapy, hospice care, reflexology, chiropractic, acupuncture, anesthetics. All of those are areas currently where healthcare professionals, and that's not all of them, but it is utilized in those areas, and it's progressive. So if you're helping to bring aromatherapy to those areas, you are an asset. And the opportunities are going to continue to grow because there's a need. And there's also research that's coming out to demonstrate that indeed aromatherapy is valuable and effective in these situations. You can also
oh, sorry, Amanda.
Mhm.
I was just going to throw out, there's also perfumery and product development as well as a couple popular. I've seen students move in those fields.
Yes, so you could go the other direction where you're developing a business focused on client services or developing products. You could be doing education or developing community resources, or even writing and focusing on publications. So we have had graduates go into these areas. That's what's beautiful about this type of education, is it's versatile.
Yeah. We have a really great question, is when's the best time to start taking those exams and such?
So to qualify for those, you do need to have completed your program. Once you've completed your program, then for the registered aromatherapist exam, there are due dates on their website to submit your application to sit for the exam. It's not difficult. You submit your transcripts, you fill out the forms and pay the fee, and you get reviewed, and then you can go and take your exam. The process is quite similar for Alliance of International Aromatherapists and National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy, but I would like to say they both have student memberships, so you don't have to wait to graduate to get a student membership with those associations and start learning about the field. And that's a huge support while you're in school, because I think it helps motivate you and it also gets you into that community.
The networking, being able to get to possibly attend conferences. I encourage students in all the modalities and professional organizations, if there's a student membership, it's typically much more affordable than once you're a professional, because when you send proof of your student status, that makes you eligible for the student membership. And it's typically a very significant cost difference too for those.
Yeah, but they're affordable. All of this is genuinely affordable. Both of these organizations have quarterly journals. You can be published in them, but you also get to read them and gain that information. It really changes your view of aromatherapy. It's a whole other world. And they offer a lot of great classes in different topics. So I can't really recommend these enough if you're interested in aromatherapy, but they also will help springboard your professional work in the field. Do I have any other questions on that? And I recommend doing your exam right after you graduate, because everything is fresh in your mind. I know a lot of people worry about that, but I recommend just doing it while it's still fresh.
Yes.
So what are our classes like? All of our aromatherapy classes are designed to be very interactive and hands-on. Each of our aromatherapy courses comes with a pretty extensive lab kit with, like I said, the essential oils that we source, and then other supplies you need to practice making the different types of preparations. We do lots of practical lab discussions, and then as you move through the program, you start to learn how to do case studies. You get to start practicing case studies. You get support from our faculty on these case studies. So they're really going to help you not just learn this, but apply it and feel confident applying it. We have in-house e-textbooks that we have developed. Some of them are many editions. We keep them current with the latest research, with the latest standards in essential oils. And we also, in the graduate program, have additional textbooks that are industry standards. So you're going to really get the latest information in these programs. And not only that, but your faculty are going to bring in examples of things that are very current in your lectures. So those e-textbooks are very valuable resources. The monographs are excellent, they're extensive, and there's a lot of firsthand information done by the research and travels of our founding president, Doreen Peterson. So fabulous resources. You get to not learn about aromatherapy, you get to learn how to do aromatherapy and practice that and get feedback on it. So they're very interesting courses, but we really try to make it as interactive as possible so that you're using what you're learning. Does anyone have any questions for me about that?
I don't see any yet, but again, y'all, don't be shy if you want to have a question. Nothing is a silly question. We want to make sure that you get all the information you need today.
The classes are blends of discussions, what you have with your classmates and your professors, and assignments. There's lots of tools built in to help you. We have weekly Zooms with your professors that you can attend live, or you can watch the recording. So they're actually really beautiful online learning spaces.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh, I love this. Grad versus undergrad.
These are our aromatherapy programs at ACHS. And they come in a range of sizes, if you will. So meaning how many credits are in each one, and so we have options for people to meet different needs. At the undergraduate level, we start with a certificate in aromatherapy, and this program is really designed for someone who may already be a professional or has taken anatomy and physiology before and is really just wanting to learn about aromatherapy itself. I'm going to have a comparison chart here in just a moment, but this has just our aromatherapy courses in it, and then I believe Nat 306, correct?
The business course.
Yes, and I think IHS 100, an integrative health sciences course. The diploma in aromatherapy master aromatherapist program is kind of our complete aromatherapy training that we offer at the undergraduate program. So this is, you haven't had any training, you're starting from the beginning, and it's the complete picture of all the aromatherapy courses, your anatomy and physiology courses, your business class,
and chemistry,
and your aromatherapy chemistry course. So that bundle of courses, the diploma in aromatherapy, can be found in our Associates of Applied Science and Integrative Health Sciences, or our Bachelor of Science in Integrative Health Sciences if you choose the aromatherapy specialization. And these are fantastic programs because everything's coming through the lens of integrative health, what makes our programs unique.
One thing to know is if you start with a diploma program, your goal is to be an aromatherapist, but you decide further on that you're ready to study other modalities, you can roll those credits into the associate's or bachelor's degree as well. So a lot of our students will want that diploma, be able to go sit for the ARC exam, and then continue their studies. So we can always set some short-term and long-term goals around that.
Audra, I see your question, and you really would need to, it's not just the aromatherapy courses. You need to take certain aromatherapy classes and then some additional classes to qualify to be an RA. We can definitely take a look at that with you, but the holistic health diploma alone, to my knowledge, does not meet the requirements for the RA.
Because you're not going to have all the aroma classes. So you may qualify for level 1 membership with NAHA with aroma if you took aroma 101 and 203, but we need to get you those other courses that go with the AMP and Patho that you took in the program. So we can help you figure that out.
Absolutely. Then at the graduate level, we also have a graduate certificate in aromatherapy. Similar story, where if you already have a degree, you've already taken anatomy and physiology, and you want to add in just the aromatherapy courses, then this is the program for you. So for example, I've had people who are already nurses who are doing research in the VA, and they just need the aromatherapy courses because they've had their other training. They take the graduate certificate in aromatherapy. Our Masters of Science in Aromatherapy is our complete aromatherapy training at the graduate level. And I'm going to show you a comparison chart with these, but fantastic program. You also get to study stress management. You get to take the coaching class. You get to complete a capstone. So you get to learn about evaluating research in aromatherapy. And that same bundle of courses can be found within the Master of Science in Integrative Health Sciences with the aromatherapy specialization. So either of those tracks, you can complete your full aromatherapy training at the graduate level. Now, very exciting is we also now have our Doctor of Science in Integrative Health with an aromatherapy specialization. And you would be taking these graduate level aromatherapy courses as your electives in that program. So that's very exciting to me to see aromatherapy being offered as part of a doctorate program. We've always been very cutting edge with aromatherapy education at ACHS, and we are continuing to carry that torch into the DSC program.
And I just want to throw out, you know how Professor Latin mentioned studying aromatherapy with herbalism or nutrition. For students that do want those multiple modalities, the Masters of Science of Integrative Health is an amazing fit because we can build those core aromatherapy classes along with like the herb classes, for example. So that is the perfect program for someone that likes to mix and match. Or, of course, stay specific to the Masters in Aromatherapy. And then we've had students that maybe add a grad cert onto the Masters of Science in Aromatherapy to get another modality as a secondary focus. So there's a lot of options.
So I get a lot of questions about which programs qualify me for which memberships with AIA and NAHA. And so we wanted to make this infographic just to kind of break it down in an easy to view way. At the undergraduate level, our certificate in aromatherapy qualifies graduates for an AIA level 2 membership, a NAHA level 2 membership, and to sit for the ARC exam if the student also has taken 2 college level anatomy and physiology courses. Now at ACHS, that would be our NAT 210 and NAT 211, but you could have taken them elsewhere and would include that transcript when you applied for the memberships or the exam. Okay. I know I'm not the expert on transfer of credit, but you also could possibly transfer the credit in from taking those classes and apply it towards this diploma in aromatherapy, which might be what I would do if I was in those shoes. So our diploma in aromatherapy qualifies graduates for AIA level 2 or 3. Level 3 is the clinical membership. And for both AIA and NAHA, you have to wait a year after graduating before you qualify to apply because they want you to see that you've been in practice for a year as an aromatherapist. So the education components are taken care of in the program, and then you have to keep gaining that experience, but the education meets the requirements. It also meets NAHA level 3 if the student has taken a college level pathophysiology course. And at ACHS, that's the NAT 302 class. Now, you could have also taken that elsewhere, and NAHA will accept that transcript. And then you can see here that the associates and the bachelors apply for level 2 and 3 at AIA and NAHA and the ARC exam if you complete the aromatherapy specialization, because you're going to get all the anatomy and physiology, and you're going to take the pathophysiology class. So let me see. I think we have some questions here.
I want to say with the diploma, that's one thing to note is that pathophysiology class is not part of the initial diploma program, but a student can take it as a single course with us or elsewhere, like Professor Latin mentioned, to make sure your goal is that level 3.
I personally, if I was doing my aromatherapy education, I would do it all. And then it doesn't mean you have to gain a level 3 membership, but at least your training has been completed. And if you decided you wanted to, um, in the future, get a level 3 membership, then you wouldn't be going back to get additional training to do that. Um,
Yeah, so we have some questions about careers and jobs. You know, where's a good place to get started? I want to throw out, we do have a career services department. So our director of career services loves to meet with students and start working with them at the beginning of their program. What are your goals? Do you have certain employers or pathways you want to follow? Do you want to have your own business? And she'll put together a long-term plan to work with you through graduation. And of course, she's always available after graduation as well. So there are resources to support you at that level. And I believe the professional organizations, that's where student memberships become helpful with AIA and NAHA. They also can help you with searching for employment. They have job and career boards as well. And Amanda, what's your other advice with that?
Yeah, while you're in school, I recommend, and it may not sound glamorous, but you will learn so much, is being willing to work in someone else's practice or business, even at the front desk. It's such a great place to learn. It gives you an in into the industry. It's also a very valuable job, I would like to say. And you're going to learn a lot. So sometimes the jobs we find also are retail, where there might be, like in Portland, we have a lot of holistic grocers or natural grocers, and they need individuals to work on their wellness aisle answering questions. And that's also a great place to start because you're going to get experience talking to people. So working in the wellness industry or holistic health, you do start at the beginning and work your way up, just as in any other field. And if you start as a student, then you get a leg up. But those are the types of jobs that I would look for. You can also look into getting maybe some writing jobs or things like that, where you help with blogs or social media. And that also gives you great experience. So those might be ideas that I would have around that.
I highly recommend looking for admin jobs in the health and wellness field. Chiropractors, acupuncturists, wellness centers, naturopathic doctors' offices, functional medicine. I have seen some of our students in different disciplines that we teach purposely find jobs, and then like Professor Latin mentioned, like contacts, networking, your employer knows what you're going to school for. I have seen students offered office space once they graduated their programs, and they get direct referrals from the medical professionals they were working with. So that outside of just being an amazing opportunity, there may be internal opportunities that grows into too, because they want to add it to their practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Regarding animal aromatherapy, I'm going to put that in the same category as the questions about internal use. So when you become a member of AIA and NAHA, that's where you're going to get those opportunities to take like an animal aromatherapy training. And they're going to have expected those students to already have completed this type of training before you would talk about something like that. So there are programs available like that. I think that's great that you're suggesting that here at ACHS. We currently don't have one. We have some blogs and some information about that, but that's considered a specialized area of aromatherapy that you take training in after you've completed your initial training like this.
Yeah, so it's definitely a niche, and I know we have graduates that have followed that pathway. I remember we had one grad, she works with horses. So it's pretty fascinating.
So this is our graduate program comparison, similar where you see the certificate in aromatherapy qualifies for a level 2 membership and the ARC exam if they have taken 2 college level anatomy and physiology courses. Then we see here our master's in aromatherapy includes that pathophysiology class and the anatomy and physiology, so it qualifies down the board for these options. And the same with our MS IHS, as long as you build in the pathophysiology into your plan, into your degree plan. And you can also take the MS Health and Wellness with aromatherapy specialization and qualify, again, if you work with your advisor to get that pathophysiology course built in. So a lot of different options and pathways at the graduate level, and then of course you have the DSC
Yeah.
pathway as well.
And if you're not 100% sure whether you're looking at undergrad or graduate study, I just want to make you feel comfortable knowing that as you're working with your admissions advisor, they'll be learning what your goals are and helping you figure out the best program to achieve those. And they're also going to work with you all the way through acceptance and building your academic plan, your schedule. So you don't have to figure this out alone. You will have someone there to help guide you and get you in the right place.
Mm-hmm. So why should you come to ACHS for your aromatherapy training? Let me tell you. Let me tell you why. We have been a leader in the holistic health education field for 45 years, and right at the top of that with aromatherapy, we had the first accredited aromatherapy education programs in the United States. We had the first Masters of Science in aromatherapy in the United States. We are leading the field with this. We are very involved in the field of aromatherapy and pride ourselves in leading the education around the need for quality with essential oils themselves and the use of aromatherapy. We are accredited by the DEAC, which is recognized by the U.S. Department of Education and the Council for Higher Education accreditation. We are also authorized by the State Authorization Reciprocity Agreement and the Oregon Department of Education. So the people you learn from are amazing here. In the aromatherapy department, we have a DAOM, a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. She's an acupuncture researcher, amazing practitioner. We have a doctor of clinical nutrition who's also an aromatherapist. We have a Ukrainian trained pharmacist who has researched botanical medicine and even researched the effects of radiation on plants around Chernobyl. She's an amazing resource of information. We have master estheticians. We have aromatherapists like myself. So it's just an amazing group of individuals, and that's just in the aromatherapy classes. That's not to mention the people you get to learn from in the other classes in your program. So we take aromatherapy to the next level here.
How would you say, Amanda, it's different than some of the certificate programs you see casually out in the world compared to like formal study at,
I almost don't know if you can compare the two. I've always recommended that people go and learn lots of places, but you need to start your training at a very high quality institution such as ACHS and then build out from there. So you never stop learning. There are many experts in aromatherapy that you will continue to get CE from after graduation, and that's a normal part of the professional process. But ACHS is going to orient you very, very well into the field of holistic health, into aromatherapy, and the goal of any educator is to help students learn how to learn. So we want you to feel empowered around reading research, about evaluating essential oils, about knowing what your role is as a professional. These are some of the things we can expect. We've talked about many of them here today. Stackable credits is really important. So you can start with aromatherapy and branch out, or you could have started with something else and come to aromatherapy. And I think that our aromatherapy credentials, because they're accredited, that means you can use them in other places. So maybe your goal is to teach at a community college or to work in another holistic health practice, and having an accredited degree or accredited diploma, certificate, etc., really sets you apart in that way.
And like gaining your education in a formal setting, when you tell people where you graduated, if you're looking for certain types of employment, especially in the medical field, having that degree can make a huge impact on the pathways that might be opened up to you.
Someone was asking how long it takes to become an RA. So if you're starting at the beginning,
I'd say it depends on the program, to be honest, because the programs, but it also depends on the schedule a student maintains through the program. So I'd say probably the quickest way, you're looking at least a year because of curriculum and a schedule. But again, it'll vary depending on, are you taking one class at a time, two, three, and how many semesters your program would go based on that schedule. So it is really unique per person, because we don't just throw you in full time unless you truly can balance a full-time school schedule with life and work and family and kids. So we really build a schedule. Oh, right here. We build a schedule for you. Your admissions advisor will help you figure out what's going to be the best balance to set you up for academic success. That's truly our concern. You're not a number. We want you to keep your grades up. We want you to still have a life. Or if you need to work, you got to have balance between all that. It's the holistic view of it, really. And so, yeah, we would help you do that. But I'd say the quickest is a year. Mm-hmm. Ooh, support services. Professor Latin probably can speak to this, because I know she helps a lot in these different areas, but you're not just an online student. We provide resources to, again, set our students up for success. So you still have community in that support. So everybody upon enrolling gets matched up with a student success coach. So that person in student services gets to know you, know your story, be there, your cheerleader, pump you up, be there if you have a tough week, schedule changes. You have a true point of contact for your program. But we also have peer tutoring. We have writing centers. We are testing out some lab center help. And then we have, I mean, yeah, all of those, a variety.
Not to mention your professors are available for one-on-one support. You get to have weekly Zooms. They have an office hour each week that you can go to. So
yeah,
there's support from all angles.
And I'd say it being a smaller school, like your professor is your first point of contact is for maid tutoring, lab help. And I have found, both working with students here for 11 years, but also being a student in classes, the professors have office hours, but they tend to be very flexible with like scheduling Zooms or phone calls as needed. They're very familiar with the challenges of being an online student and want to support you again in your success. You just have to say, hey, and that you need that help.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to let you continue to discuss things here.
So just sort of some of the black and white FAQs. We do, as a college, have an online application. Honestly, most students tell me it probably takes them about 20, 30 minutes most to fill it out. So it's really not painful. We do need official transcripts. So undergraduate students, if you've never been to college, that's okay. We just need your high school or high school completion, like GED transcripts, high school transcripts. If you've been to college, military, we need all of those transcripts because we always review for transfer credit as well. Graduate students, we need your bachelor's degree and higher. So I've had students come in with previous grad work, nursing, I mean, honestly, so many different fields. So we'd want to get your graduate transcripts. If you're applying to the doctorate program, you do need at minimum a master's degree. And of course, your admissions advisor will support you through acceptance, building that schedule we mentioned, helping you secure funding, and put all the pieces together to actually formalize and finalize that core enrollment and get you started in school. And then as a support, all students do complete a new student orientation that your student services team is part of. We have a welcome webinar, and then you start classes. With that said, our next semester, and I think the dates are on the next slide, Amanda.
We have a question about transcripts.
Oh, awesome. Do you want transcripts sent from the schools? Are a copy enough? Unfortunately, because we're an accredited school, we're held to compliance by the Department of Ed and such. We cannot accept a transcript copy. So the transcripts do have to come from the college directly to ACHS. If you need any help with ordering them, let your admissions advisor know. We've learned to be very savvy in supporting the students. So we can help you figure out where to order it. If a college offers options like parchment, clearinghouse to electronically send it over, please use those. They're amazing. Occasionally, I'd say one, maybe 2 out of 10 schools still do transcripts by mail. Sometimes they have to be mailed out. If the school is closed, let us help you. A lot of schools or the State Department of Ed will be holding those records. We can help you again, order those. It's all, don't feel like you have to do it by yourself. We want to help make the process as smooth as possible. But yeah, hopefully that helps answer that question. So classes coming up. We are a semester-based school. Our summer semester is our next 15-week term, and it begins in May. Application deadline's coming up March 22nd. And I know it feels a little couple months away, but I always try to encourage students, don't wait until last minute so we can help you with transcripts and funding. So yeah, we go to school year round, fall, spring, summer. So that's definitely a great time to get started. For students that have the time right now, we actually have our spring 2 coming up. We consider this our mini session. We only offer our most popular classes like Aromatherapy 101, Nutrition 101. We have a couple graduate classes that we're offering. So this mini session is only 7.5 weeks. So I have quite a handful of students that didn't quite make the timeline to start classes back at the very beginning of January, but their schedule's perfect, their family's supportive, they have the time. We can jump into 1 or 2 classes now and then get onto a traditional schedule come summer. And I have, we've reached out and we have confirmed, being that uniquely, this classes start on February 29th, and tomorrow is actually our registration deadline. But because we are planning this webinar, we got special permission. Anybody who's still completing their application today and tomorrow, or over the weekend that attended today, we can waive your late registration fee. So if you attended, you're completing your application to start classes at the end of the month, your admissions advisor will be notified so you don't have to pay that late fee. And we're here to help you jump into the classes. And we still have space in about 3/4 of the classes. So there's definitely availability for you to jump in. Does anyone have questions about those terms coming up?
Isn't February 29th, does that mean a leap year? Right?
It is. This is such a
what an
special day
to start college program.
Yeah. You can become a college student on leap year. No one can beat that.
You can't beat that.
So yeah, this is our admissions team. Of course, we work closely with all student services, all of our program deans and professors, but this is your first point of contact. We're here to support you, coach you. I always tell my students, we're here to be your resource and advocates each step of the way. So again, make the process as smooth as possible and really help you follow your passion and start the next part of your journey. So yeah, we're really excited to help you, and you can reach out to us just by calling the main campus or contact your advisor directly if you've already started meeting them.
And also, my email address is on the website. Does anyone else have any other questions for me before we end?
Yeah,
I know we covered a
no problem to answer a couple questions if anyone has any before we go. I think that's one thing, again, being a smaller college, we get to really collaborate between departments, everybody's supportive. And that's one thing students realize is we work with the program deans. It isn't someone who sits in an office at the back of a hallway that we never see. We all work together to support you. So it's really exciting.
excellent.
Awesome. Well, I don't see any questions, so we'll let y'all go. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us. We will be emailing out a recording in case you want to rewatch it. And we hope you have an amazing rest of the week, and hopefully you'll see a couple applications pop in and we can get you started on your education path. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.